Yeah, so basically like I got into making jewelry just by not finding things that I wanted to wear. In at the back of my mind, I knew I could make something myself. And I've kind of always had that urge to just make things. When I started making my own work, it kind of led me to making things which I wanted to wear, which was the first steps of my journey of making jewelry, was just making stuff for myself. I start off with wax, and then I cut it to size. So I use a saw, a jewelry saw, and you literally just find a size, and you can just basically just cut off a piece of wax. So I won't do the whole thing, but and then you get off something like that, and then you start by drawing up a design. So normally I draw on top of the wax, or I have tape, and I draw on the tape because it shows easier. Because sometimes when this dries, you can't really see it in the wax. And then, so then I use a micromotor, which is like this kind of handheld tool with the foot pedals. And I have a bunch of different pieces that I can use, so things for wax, things for metal. So I use that for a lot of my work. And then from there, you cut it down and kind of take off all the skin that you don't want to use. After doing that, then I'll go in there with a file, and I'll just file off all of the excess to kind of make it smooth, and I'll basically round off the edges and make a perfect shape of the ring, and I'll add a bit more kind of organic shapes at the end of it. And then I'll use a X-Acto blade, which is, so I prefer each ring, I prefer using a new one just because the wax sometimes dulls it down, and so it's harder to use. So I go through these like bloody, I don't know, butter. And then I use a diamond tip, a micromotor piece, which kind of just smooths out the edges for the ring on the inside. I will then use a blowtorch. So this is Bartholomew, my blowtorch. Bartholomew. That basically softens the wax and gets rid of any like machine lines or anything, like file lines or anything like I missed, which is very difficult to get rid of unless you have heat. And then so then I use the micromotor again, and I'll basically just make holes inside of the band to kind of look like coral, like more organic pieces. I will then pick out stones. So I've got a whole box of stones, which is like kind of like a selection of different stones. So I've got diamonds, black diamonds, topaz, citrine, tourmaline, rubies, lots of sapphires, aquamarine, the whole lot. When they make the mold of the wax, they make a silicone mold, and then they pour in this kind of polyester kind of concrete stuff, and then they pour the gold into that, and I get it sent back to me. And then I'll send it off to my setter in the city. His name's Ray. And I go to Ray, and I will then tell him what I would like to get done. So basically, once I finish a ring off and I get it back setting, then I'll give it a quick polish with this, which is a microfiber polishing bit. And then I also run with this brown compound if it's got a bit of excess, say metal or like a bit too much dirt or like a scratch. And then once I finish with that, then I'll run it through this solution, which is like a gold clean solution, which I do for about 2 minutes. And that kind of just gets any excess polishing compound, which is not visible by eye, but can actually, in the long run, cause more dirt buildup. I'll then run it through with some water, or also I can run it through a ultrasonic cleaner. Then I'll take some photos of it, and then I'll send some photos to the client and see if they're all happy with it. Then I package it up and I'll send it off.